Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Dark Art Society podcast. My name is Chet Zar and I'm your host. It is 2022, episode 268. I was originally going to skip this week since it's my week off that I usually take at the end of the year, but I thought I'd try something different. I decided to make a simple, quick talking head video to share something I discovered recently. And I think it's something that can be used to protect your artwork from being used to train AI, at least going forward. Let's get this boring stuff out of the way, and then we'll talk about that. What's been going on with me? I have just been unwinding a little bit from the holidays, getting my orders out. I have to start dealing with some artwork I owe, and I am supposed to be taking a week off, but no. So I'm going to be working on that during my break, just trying to do it at a more leisurely pace, I suppose. And I've got two really cool shows I'm going to be in January and February, so I have to start these paintings, larger paintings. If you want to see the progress on those before they go public, you can join my Patreon at patreon.com/ChetZar and join for as little as $1. If you want to support the Dark Art Society podcast, you can join the Dark Art Society podcast Patreon at patreon.com/darkartsociety. And aside from getting episodes a day early and getting entry into the private Facebook group and the Discord channel and stuff, you also get your name read on the air, which I will do right now. Okay, we've got Ryan Rader. Thank you, Ryan. Eric Blue. Thank you, Eric Blue. Alex 7. Thank you, Alex 7. And Byron Wilson. They are supporters of the podcast, and they keep things going around here. They keep the lights on, so to speak. Oh, and I almost forgot. If you join at the $5 and above level, you will get entered to win a free skull from Skull Shop. SkullShoppe. Look at that skull. It's badass. Skullshop.com. So as you may or may not know, I've done two AI videos, one kind of anti-AI and one kind of pro-AI. One with Steven Zapata talking about his argument against Image AI's video, and one with Meetsmeyer, who's a digital artist and kind of an AI advocate. And it seems like the one issue where everyone can agree is that AI companies using copyrighted material from artists to train their AI is unethical. It may not be illegal, because currently the laws aren't structured to deal with a new technology like this, but it seems pretty obvious that it's unethical. I mean, maybe it is illegal. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an artist, and an artist is like the polar opposite of a lawyer. Anyway, this stuff is all completely beside the point. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that this is going to take a long time to sort out. It's going to happen in the courts. It's going to happen through legislation. But there is one thing that you can do in the meantime to protect your artwork going forward. It's kind of a small thing, really tiny, but it is something. This all started when I went to go look for an image on Google Images. It was an old painting I had done a few years ago, and I was too lazy to go looking through my files on my computer to find it because I'm kind of a mess. And I went to go search it, and it wasn't coming up in Google Images. And I thought that's strange because most of my work is easily searchable on the internet. If you know my name and you know the title of the painting, it'll come up in Google image search. Still trying to avoid going to my computer and searching through all of my photos because I'm kind of a mess. I thought about where I'd initially posted it, and it was on my Patreon behind a paywall. So this got me thinking, if that old painting wasn't in the Google Images database, maybe it wasn't in the AI training database. So I took the image, uploaded it to haveibeentrained.com, which is a place that you can check to see if your artwork has been used to train the AI models. And lo and behold, it wasn't in there. So that got me thinking again, maybe all of the images I've been posting on my Patreon for the past 5 or 6 years are not in the AI database because they were behind a paywall. So in order to test this, I went through my Patreon. I found a bunch of images that were posted in Patreon only and not anywhere on the internet, and downloaded those and ran them one by one through haveibeentrained.com, and none of them came up. I had just assumed that everything that I'd posted online was probably in the data set. So this was a real aha moment for me. While it doesn't solve the overall problem in the slightest, teeny tiny, it is something you can do right now to ensure that your work doesn't get included without your permission. Does this address the issue of AI taking work away from artists? No. Does this address the issue of images of your past work being included in the old AI datasets? No. Does this fix any of the major AI issues? No. Will this allow you to continue to share your work with a select group of people in your audience, putting the odds in your favor that your work will not be used in future AI training data? Yes. And that may not be much, but it's better than nothing. I don't know that any of this stuff is going to matter in the future, but I do know a number of paintings that I posted only to my Patreon have not been used to train the AI. Does that matter? Not really. But I do feel a little bit better knowing that I have that option. Now, I know people will probably say, well, what about if one of your patrons on Patreon takes one of your images and uploads it to a social media site, and then it inadvertently gets used to train AI? Or what about artists that don't have enough of a following to get people to pay to view their work on Patreon, or any other number of issues this has? Like I said, all I know is I have work that has not been used in the AI data, and it's because I put it behind a paywall. So just take that for what it's worth. I thought it was an interesting discovery, and I wanted to share that with you. Oh, and I am not sponsored by Patreon to do this, although I should be, but I am a big fan of Patreon. I think every artist should have one. I think it's dangerous to have all of your work only on social media platforms. We can see what's going on now with Twitter, and how so many people have had their businesses run exclusively on Twitter. And because of one dude who owns it, they may not have a business on Twitter in the near future. It's too precarious of a situation to entrust to the social media companies. So I think Patreon is a good option. Anyway, that's about all I got to say on the subject. It was just a discovery I made, and I wanted to share it with you. If you have any thoughts on it, go ahead and leave me a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see where this all goes. It's a crazy world we're living in. Anyway, hope you liked the video. Thanks for listening and watching in 2022. And let's hope that 2023 is a lot better. See you next year. Bye, audience.